with, you will need to open up Photoshop. We have an older version on the computers, which is the one you need to use. It's called Photoshop CS, Adobe Photoshop CS. I'll help you find it. When you've found it, you're going to open it up and create a letter size file and press OK. I'm going to start by pulling my clip art onto, takes a bit, onto the Photoshop, and it's in place now. I want to change the size. So to begin with, you're going to get the select tool, which is the arrow with the move tool next to it, and you will see boxes around your art. These are called transform controls. If you don't see them, make sure you click in whatever it's called up here. It's not called show transform controls, it's called something else, but you absolutely need to have these selected. I want to change the size of this first. I'm going to click in the middle of it. In fact, I'm going to click down here at the corner, and I will see then the ruler up here, or the selection bar, giving me some choices. I want to click on or press on the lock, because that will assure me that when I enlarge this, I'm going to get a larger piece of art that's still proportional. And then the last step is to press return. Just press your return key. This is called completing the transformation. Okay, so here's my art ready to have some changes. I need to see a couple of windows. The first one I want to see is my layers window. It looks like this, and whoa, I have two layers. If your art ends up on your background layer and it's locked, you will need to unlock it in order to make any changes, and it's easy to unlock a layer. You simply click on it twice in this case and press OK, and that unlocks it. But I want to be on my layer with the art. It's very important in Photoshop to be on the layer that you're going to change, and I can even change the name of that one. I'm going to call this King Cobra. Okay, so I don't want to do too much else. I don't want the word Cobra down here, so I'm going to choose my eraser key tool in my toolbar, and if you don't see the eraser, it might be another tool is selected. Many of these, Photoshop has many tools, and there are other tools that might be showing instead. So just scroll up to the eraser, it's about here, and then I'm going to erase this. Now, one thing about the eraser is you can set the size of that eraser. If you have something to erase like this and you just want to do it real fast and it's not next to anything that you are worried about keeping, then just set it large, and that's the best way to get rid of it. If you have to work in a tight area, you can also come up here and use the slider bar, which keeps blinking on and off, and come down small. Okay, so that's done. I got that. Now I want to change the color of my line. I'm going to do that by selecting it. This is called the magic wand over here, and it's a selection tool. I want to click in an area of black, which gets most of it, but I can make sure I've got every last bit by pulling down Select to Similar, and that will choose all of the black on my page. Now I want to color this in, and I want it to be blue. This is Blue and White Day. Right now over here my toolbar is showing that I have hot pink on top and blue underneath. The top color is really called the foreground color. The bottom color is called the background. I'm just going to click these double-headed arrows and make the blue on top. Okay, so with that still selected, I'm going to pull down Edit to Fill, and then here, see how it's going to fill with the foreground color? Press OK. So now I have a blue snake, and to go on I need to select, deselect, or if you can remember the hotkeys, it's Apple D that deselects. Okay, so snake is now blue, and we need to fill it in. Um, Pink's the wrong color because this is blue and white day, but I can choose the blue that's here and select a lighter color, which about like this. You actually have to click in it and see it here and press OK for it to change that color. And now, just to fill in the snake, I'm going to use the bucket tool. This is another tool that you might see the gradient instead. Just know that the bucket tool is underneath. And it's the color on top will automatically be the one that the paint bucket fills with. So I'm just going to run around and fill my snake with blue. Okay, so I still like that hot pink though, and I want to get it in there somewhere. So I am going to do the double-headed arrow, and I want to get the tongue. Now the tongue is kind of a small area, so I'm going to enlarge it with the magnifying glass. Whoops, it's on minus. I'll go up and select plus at the top. And now it's going to be easy for me to get in here, and I think I'll probably just fill the tongue and the mouth with that nice pink that I like so much. So there we go. Here we go. Okay, there we are. We're all pink, and I can change that color pretty quickly if I want to also. Can't really tell what that little color should be. If it bothers you, you just make the light blue on top, and maybe that bit goes to light blue. Okay, so here we come back to the magnifying and glass, and then I'll just snap back down. Okay, so the snake is really the way I want it, and I'm going to put it on my page. One thing that might be nice here is to crop this so you don't have as much white around it. In fact, we can do a couple of things. We'll just set it to have an invisible background as well. So I've got it, I want it about centered in my page so I can crop it. This is my crop tool, and I'm going to draw a box. Oops, that one, and this is a good thing to show you. There were actually some preset dimensions in there, so I'm going to have to deselect that one. No, I don't want to crop yet. I'm going to choose the crop tool again, and notice that this had been preset to 16 by 10. I'm just erasing that. And now when I crop, I won't have any restrictions on the size, and I can pull in the corners to get exactly what I want. And just press return. Again, this is a transformation. Complete the transformation. And the last thing I want to do is make sure that I have a transparent background. My bottom layer is solid white. If I delete that by pressing the garbage can here, and I'm going, so I see these little boxes indicate that you have transparent. So the other thing that I'm going to need to do is just select this white area. And I don't want to use this select similar, because there's some areas like the eyes and inside here that I don't want to delete. And then I just press the delete key. And right now, that will be a transparent image, which is probably what you want for most of what you do. Okay, now let's save it. I'm going to save it as a certain file type. First I'm going to save it so it's just a Photoshop file in case I want to make any changes. And I'm going to call this one King Cobra. And I want to make sure that it goes on my desktop so I can find it when I want it. Okay, now that's saved. Okay, now the one that I'm actually going to use in my poster, I'm going to do a save as, and I want it to be a ping this time. Ping is an image file type, and it will keep the transparency. Save. Don't worry about this. These are not important these days. So press OK, and it's done. That's how you colorize an image. Hope this works for you.